Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, welcome to Mars Needs Movies. I am your host, Precious D, and with me is my sometimes co-host, Honeybee.
Hello, everyone.
On this show, we look at movies and TV shows about alien invasions, incursions, infiltrations, and visitations. And today we're looking at The Thing from 1982, the second adaptation of John W. Campbell Jr.'s novella, Who Goes There? The first one being The Thing from Another World, and the third one being a prequel called The Thing. Not at all confusing. And supposedly they're working on it.
Even the damn cover of it looks the same.
Yeah. So, I think I mentioned this back when we did The Thing from Another World on our other podcast. A while back, they discovered in like John W. Campbell's papers at a university or something, somebody was going through them and found a longer, earlier version of the story called Frozen Hell.
Tracks?
They had a Kickstarter to publish that version, and they've also done some new books based on that, some sequels and prequels and sidequels and whatever, all based on Frozen Hell. And supposedly they are somebody's making a new version based on that longer Frozen Hell version. I don't know if they're going to call that Frozen Hell or if they'll just call it The Thing again, but there you go.
The Other Thing.
Yeah. So let's look at it. Hold on. It is from, 1982, 109 minutes in color in English. The budget was $15 million. Honeybee, you going to take the over or the under on the box office?
I'm going to take the over.
Over, but just barely, $20.9 million. But I'm sure it's made money since then on video sales and rentals and digital sales and all that. It's kind of a classic now. The cast is Kurt Russell as R.J. MacReady, A. Wilford Brimley, not the Wilford Brimley, but A. Wilford Brimley. No, that's his. I thought he's usually credited as Wilford Brimley, but this says A. Wilford Brimley. As Blair, T.K. Carter as Nollis, David Clennon as Palmer, Keith David as Childs. This is the second Keith David movie we've talked about. The other one being They Live. Richard Dysart as Dr. Cooper, Charles Hallahan as Norris, Peter Maloney as George Bennings, Richard Macer as Clark, Donald Moffat as Gary, Joel Polis as Fuchs, and Thomas Waits as Windows. It's a real sausage party here in the Antarctic. Also, Norbert Weiser is one of the Norwegians, and an uncredited dog, Jed, as Dog Thing, as the Dog Thing. The only female presence in the film is the voice of MacReady's chess computer, voiced by Carpenter's wife, Adrienne Barbeau. This is the first I'm hearing that Adrienne Barbeau is or was John Carpenter's wife. Never knew that.
Well, damn.
Never knew that before. They are divorced now. But they were married at that time. So, Honeybee, what are your initial thoughts and feelings on John Carpenter's The Thing?
So I first originally saw this probably in the late 90s, maybe early 2000s. It was one of my mom's really favorite movies. She really loved this movie, and she couldn't wait for me to see it. And I don't really remember much about watching it, except the only thing I could remember was that I was so angry at the ending. And I just remember telling my mom it was the worst movie I had ever seen, and I couldn't believe that it ended that way. And so when I was going into this, I wasn't sure what to expect because I couldn't remember a lot of like what the movie was about. All I could remember was I hated the ending. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of like watching it for the first time for me. And I will say I liked it much better watching it as an adult, and I can't believe I watched this movie as a child.
It's pretty horrible.
Because like I was like, oh shit, yeah. It is so scary.
It's pretty intense.
It is so scary. It looks so good. All the effects, like everything looks amazing. Yeah. Not only because it's like oh, like for 1982, but no matter, like, even it just looks great. Everything looks so great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really intense, super scary. So that's probably why I don't remember it.
Yeah,
I
it's
just blocked it out of my brain.
all practical effects.
Yeah, oh, it looks so good. Definitely very scary though.
We actually start off in outer space. A flying saucer crashes into the Earth. But then we'll get into our plot from Wikipedia. Thank you, Wikipedia.
So wait, I gotta ask, did you see this like when it came out?
I didn't see it in theaters, but I saw it probably like on HBO shortly after it was in theaters. So I've seen it a number of times over the years. And I think I probably owned a VHS copy at one point, and I currently own a digital copy of all three versions of this movie. And I backed that Kickstarter for Frozen Hell. But have not actually finished reading it.
Oh.
In Antarctica, a Norwegian helicopter pursues a sled dog to an American research station. The Americans witness the passenger accidentally blow up the helicopter in addition to himself. He tries to throw a grenade at the dog. He's been trying to shoot the dog. Then he tries to throw a grenade at the dog, and it falls out of his hand. The pilot fires a rifle and shouts at the Americans, but they cannot understand him. And he is shot dead in self-defense by Station Commander Gary. The American helicopter pilot, R.J. McCready. Oh, before this, R.J.'s playing with his computer chess and loses, and then pours his drink into the computer and ruins it.
Not just his drink, but his J&B Scotch.
Yes.
Justerini and Brooks.
Some
did they sponsor this film? Because he...
Yeah, we see it again at the end.
Seriously.
Throughout the movie, but good shot at the beginning and a good shot at the end. The Thing brought to you by J&B.
It's definitely a Scotch that I fucks with. It's a good Scotch, but I would never pour it down anything because it's Scotch.
Yeah. So I just feel like in Antarctica, I mean, there's one point where they're watching videotapes of game shows. What is the game show? Truth or Consequences? No. It's the one where people dress up in costumes to get the host's attention, and they play various games and stuff. And they,
like, I didn't recognize it myself.
Wayne Brady hosts the current version of it.
Oh.
It's an old. Damn it! Now I got to look it up.
Let's make a deal.
That's it exactly. Let's make a deal. Part of it is, well, you can keep what you just won, or you can trade it for what's in this box here, and things like that. Or I'll give you $100. Sometimes when he's picking contestants, he's like, I give anybody $100 if they have a pack of gum in your purse there, or whatever, things like that. So anyway, yeah, they're watching video. I'm just saying, entertainment is hard to come by in Antarctica. So don't go destroying your chess computer just because you lost.
Yeah.
Anyway, McCready and Dr. Cooper leave to investigate the Norwegian base. Among the charred ruins and frozen corpses, they find the burnt corpse of a malformed humanoid, which they transfer to the American station. Their biologist Blair autopsies the remains and finds a normal set of human organs. Clark kennels the sled dog, and it soon metamorphoses and absorbs several of the station dogs. So we have here a semi-body snatcher situation, but it doesn't last, which is unusual. It's not really trying to take your place in any permanent sense.
Yeah. Just kind of mimicking to survive.
I mean, it is able to make a perfect copy because it knows it has your, it absorbs your brain and whatever and knows what you know, but for whatever reason is not content to just stay that way. This disturbance alerts the team, and Childs uses a flamethrower to incinerate the creature. Blair autopsies the dog thing and surmises it is an organism that can perfectly imitate other life forms.
Oh god, the dog shit is terrifying when it like pops out of the oh god, every single time something like this happens, I was just like, oh shit, like it's just so crazy. It looks so good. Also, we find out that the world population would be infected within, I couldn't tell if it said 27,000 hours or 27 point zero zero, but I think it was 27,000 hours that the entire world population would be infected by this thing.
Yeah. If it gets out of Antarctica, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Data recovered from the Norwegian base leads the Americans to a large excavation site containing a partially buried alien spacecraft, which Norris estimates has been buried for over 100,000 years, and a smaller, human-sized dig site. Blair grows paranoid after running a computer simulation that indicates the creature could assimilate all life on Earth in a matter of years. The group implements control to reduce the risk of assimilation. Now, it's unclear. No, they don't really talk about this, but is this the Thing's spaceship, or did the Thing just assimilate some other creature? Because it doesn't seem like the kind of thing that builds ships, you know? So
What
maybe,
do you mean?
I mean, it absorbs things, it takes them over, and then it bursts out of them and tries to absorb another thing. So what I mean is, like, is there some third species that this happened to also? Does the ship belong to some other alien that the Thing attacked and took over, and is that why it crashed? You see what I'm saying? But they never they never really address that. But apparently the Thing crawled out of the ship, possibly knowing that it could be frozen and just, thaw out thousands of years later.
Yeah.
Let's see. The remains of the malformed humanoid assimilate and isolated Bennings, but Windows interrupts the process and MacReady burns the Bennings thing. The team also imprisons Blair in a tool shed after he sabotages all the vehicles, kills the remaining sled dogs, and destroys the radio to prevent escape. Cooper suggests testing for infection by comparing the crew's blood against uncontaminated blood held in storage, but after learning the blood stores have been destroyed, the men lose faith in Gary's leadership, and MacReady takes command.
Everything really starts falling apart here. Like you really can tell, like, when you can't trust people,
yes,
and everyone's like in this group and no one knows who's who, and like there's just like everything starts falling apart. People just start acting like fucking crazy. Man, this was so intense. So much of that in this movie. Ooh, man.
He, Windows, and Nollis find Fuchs's burnt corpse and speculate that he committed suicide to avoid assimilation. Windows returns to base while MacReady and Nollis investigate MacReady's shack. During their return, Nollis abandons MacReady in a snowstorm, believing he's been assimilated after finding his torn clothes in the shack. Because, the creature tends to tear out of the clothes of whoever it's assimilated. The team debates whether to allow MacReady inside, but he breaks in and holds the group at bay with dynamite. During the encounter, Norris appears to suffer a heart attack. As Cooper attempts to defibrillate Norris, his chest transforms into a large mouth and bites off Cooper's arms, killing him. Hilarious. MacReady incinerates the Norris
thing. I tried to pick my jaw off the floor. I was so shocked. And then when his head just separates and turns into like a fucking bug or something. Oh.
Yes. Yeah. Its head detaches and attempts to escape before also being burnt. MacReady thinks that the Norris thing demonstrated that every part of the thing is an individual life form with its own survival instinct. He proposes testing blood samples from each survivor with a heated piece of wire and has each man restrained, but is forced to kill Clark after he lunges at MacReady with a scalpel. Everyone passes the test except
the guy
Palmer.
In the shed ought to also said, like, hey, watch Clark, and it turned out that Clark was totally fine, just maybe a little paranoid.
Yeah. Palmer's blood recoils from the heat. So when he sticks it doesn't just recoil, it like jumps up into the air. And exposed, the Palmer thing transforms, breaks free of its bonds, and infects Windows, forcing MacReady to incinerate them both. It just like engulfs Windows' head, I think. Childs is left on guard in the main building while MacReady, Gary, and Nollis go to test Blair. They find that he has escaped and has been using vehicle components to assemble a small flying saucer. So I guess I was wrong. They do build things. Well, was it going to work? I don't know. Which they destroy. Upon their return, Childs is missing, and the power generator has been destroyed, leaving the men without heat. MacReady surmises that with no escape left, the thing intends to return into hibernation until a rescue team arrives. The three men agree that the thing cannot be allowed to escape and set explosives to destroy the station, but the Blair thing kills Gary and Nollis disappears. The Blair thing transforms into an enormous creature and breaks the detonator, but MacReady triggers the explosives with a stick of dynamite, destroying the station and the Blair thing. While MacReady sits by the burning remnants, Childs returns, claiming he got lost in the storm while pursuing Blair. Exhausted and slowly freezing to death, they acknowledge the futility of their distrust and share a bottle of J.B. Scotch whiskey. So, what do you think about this ending? Is one of them infected? And do they infect the other one by sharing the whiskey? What do you think?
I mean, I think even if they're not, even if neither one of them are, they're both gonna fucking sit there and die.
Yeah.
Like, either way, they're dead.
Yes. Well, but if they're infected, then they'll just go into hibernation. So I had thought, and maybe somebody, I think somebody just told me this, and I believe that that's what happened. I thought that we see them pass the bottle back and forth, but we don't. We see MacReady hand the bottle to Childs, and Childs takes a drink. And then it seems like MacReady takes the bottle back, but it kind of happens out of camera a little bit. But we don't see MacReady take another sip. I had thought that what happened was MacReady takes a sip, hands it to Childs, Childs takes a sip, hands it back to MacReady, and MacReady takes a sip. And if that's what had happened, then if either of them was infected, they're now both infected. But that's not actually what we see, so maybe that wasn't the director's intent at all. And he meant us to believe that they were just two humans that were going to sit there and possibly freeze to death. There have been comic book sequels where MacReady goes back to, they do get rescued, but he's infected or the other guy's infected. I don't remember. But Dark Horse Comic has published 4 sequels.
The way I kind of viewed it was that the other guy was infected, and he gave him the bottle they weren't going to drink after each other, but either way, he's like, let's just sit here and see what happens. He's like, let's just sit here, and I'm thinking, no matter what, they're just going to sit there and freeze, or they're dead. They're dead no matter what. They're either dead or they're the thing hibernating.
Yeah. So
which makes them dead.
Yeah. So there's these Dark Horse comics you can read if you want. The Thing from Another World, The Thing from Another World, Climate of Fear, Thing from Another World, Eternal Vows, and The Thing from Another World, Questionable Research. There's also a video game for PS2, and of course the prequel we mentioned. And then it says here, in 2020, Universal Studios and Blumhouse Productions announced the development of a remake. It was described as incorporating elements of The Thing from Another World, The Thing, as well as Who Goes There, and the expanded version Frozen Hell. But it's been a while now, and I don't see any progress on them.
Damn. Well, I will say I liked it much better as an adult.
Now, Carpenter, although released, let's see, this is also Wikipedia, although released years apart and unrelated in terms of plot, character, crew, or even production studios, Carpenter considers The Thing to be the first installment in his Apocalypse trilogy, a series of films based around cosmic horror, entities unknown to man that are threats to both human life and the sense of self. So that would include The Thing, The Prince of Darkness, and In the Mouth of Madness. And these are all influenced by Carpenter's appreciation of the works of H.P. Lovecraft. Honeybee, what are you going to rate John Carpenter's The Thing?
I'm going to give it 5 stars.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. 5 flying saucers.
I loved it.
For John Carpenter's The Thing.
It was great. I mean, and the effects are just incredible. Everything looks so great. It was terrifying. This is such a scary movie. I loved it so much. And I even like texted my mom and was like, hey, I owe you an apology. The ending wasn't as bad as I thought. I'm so sorry. I just really didn't like it then, but I liked it now.
What did she say anything?
Yeah, she just laughed. She was
Okay.
like, good. She just loves she was excited that I like enjoyed it because she really liked the movie.
Oh man. Is it streaming?
I was just
anywhere?
like, that's it? What the hell? That's it? We don't get to know what happens.
It doesn't look like it's streaming for free anywhere, but you can buy or rent it on all the usual platforms. So there you go, folks. And I do recommend it.
Yeah, definitely.
Flying Saucers. Well, folks, that's going to wrap it up for this week. We'll probably do the sequel pretty soon.
Yeah, I would love that.
So there you go. Until next time, I have been Precious D.
And I've been Honey Bee.
Remember to keep watching the skies. We won't see you, but you will hear us next time on Mars Needs Movies.